Once again, the British tabloids have proven they're more interested in manufacturing drama than reporting facts. But this time, James Holt and the Sussexes weren't having it. The so-called quit narrative that the UK media tried to ram down everyone's throats falls apart the moment you understand how the modern workforce actually operates. Something apparently foreign to the dinosaurs still scribbling away for Murdoch and Company. Meredith M. completed her contract with the Sussexes and moved on to new opportunities. A perfectly normal business transaction that happens millions of times every single day in the real world. Yet somehow the tabloid relics treated it like a royal scandal. Both professionals had excellent experiences working with Harry and Meghan, and they've left on good terms to expand their experience elsewhere. But here's what really matters. While the British press wastes ink manufacturing outrage about personnel changes that nobody with actual work experience finds newsworthy, the Sussexes continue signing contracts, fulfilling obligations, and building their empire, millions upon millions flowing in regardless of what the tabloids claim. The irony is delicious. These same rags won't touch the real stories about their precious royals and their documented disasters, yet they can't take their eyes off the Sussexes who left them in the dust nearly a decade ago and don't give two flips about their existence. It's 2024. People work jobs for a defined period, fulfill their responsibilities, gain their experience, collect their compensation and move forward. This is called professional growth. Wake up, Britain. British media's reckless pursuit of sensationalism over truth. The British tabloids have long mastered the art of fabrication, churning out false narratives with reckless abandon and zero regard for verification. When staff members transition between positions, a perfectly normal occurrence in any professional environment, these media outlets rush to print inflammatory headlines that twist the story into something it never was, transforming routine departures into scandalous quits designed to generate outrage rather than inform. What's particularly galling is that sensationalism consistently trumps factual reporting in the tabloid playbook. Accuracy takes a back seat to whatever headline will grab eyeballs and sell papers. These publications manufacture drama where none exists, deliberately misleading their readers because the truth simply isn't juicy enough. The reality that people complete their contracts, move on to new opportunities and advance their careers is far too mundane for the British rags to bother with. Instead, they prefer their invented narratives of chaos and conflict, proving time and again that profit margins matter far more to them than the responsibility that comes with being a news organisation. James Holt and Meredith M. set the record straight. Both James Holt and Meredith M. wasted no time shutting down the ridiculous quit narrative that the British tabloids were so eager to peddle. And honestly, it's about time someone called out these lies for what they are. These staff members didn't abandon ship. They completed their contracted positions exactly as agreed, fulfilling every obligation with professionalism and dedication. What the rags refuse to understand is that their departures were planned transitions, not sudden exits born from chaos or discord, but rather the natural evolution of careers that have run their intended course. The old guard in Fleet Street seems utterly baffled by the concept of planned career moves, clinging to some antiquated fantasy where loyal employees stay put for decades until they're wheeled out the door with a gold watch. But that's not how the real world works anymore, and certainly not how smart, ambitious professionals operate in the 21st century. When you sign a contract, you honour it, and when that contract concludes, you move forward to new opportunities and higher ground. It's basic business, it's professional maturity, and it's exactly what both Holt and Meredith M. Chattergear did, all while the tabloids scrambled to manufacture drama out of perfectly ordinary career transitions. Professional growth and career evolution in the modern workplace. The reality is simple and straightforward. Meredith M. fulfilled her contract with the Sussexes, gained invaluable experience working at the highest levels of a dynamic organization, and is now moving forward in her career. This is not a scandal or a betrayal. It's standard business practice in the 21st century. Both she and James Holt understood that working with the Sussexes provided them with tremendous professional growth and real-world experience that will serve them well in whatever comes next. The British tabloids, stuck in some fantasy version of the past, where loyal servants spent entire lifetimes in one position waiting for a gold watch, simply don't grasp how careers actually work anymore. People build their experience, expand their credentials, and move to new positions. That's not abandonment, that's evolution. The Sussexes have never had trouble retaining quality staff or moving forward, and the fact that talented individuals step into new roles after their tenure is over speaks to the strength of the organisation, not its weakness. Career progression is the natural order of things, and anyone with real work experience knows this. The tabloids can spin their narratives all they want, but the Sussexes continue to thrive because they operate in the real world where contracts are fulfilled, people advance their careers, and success speaks louder than manufactured outrage. The evolution of career progression in today's professional landscape. The old guard mentality of staying put in a single position for 20, 30 or more years is dead and buried, and good riddance to it. Modern professionals understand what the dinosaurs in the British tabloid industry refuse to accept. Careers today are built on movement, not stagnation. You take on a role, you master it, you earn your stripes and your paycheck, and then you pivot to the next opportunity that expands your skill set and elevates your standing. This isn't abandonment, it's evolution. People who actually work in the real world, not those sitting in dusty offices recycling gossip, know that accepting challenges across different positions is how you build genuine credentials that matter. The Sussexes clearly grasped this principle when their team members fulfilled their contracts and moved forward, yet the tabloid relics screamed quit, like they were still living in some bygone era of loyalty ribbons and gold watches. Wake up. Professional growth in the 21st century demands diversity of experience, demands the courage to embrace new challenges, and demands that you keep climbing. The ones still clinging to the old model? They're the ones left behind while everyone else is thriving. The Sussex business success. Regardless of what the tabloid rags want to scream about staffing changes, the real story is written in contracts and bank statements. The Sussexes continue to sign deals, fulfill obligations, and watch their financial portfolio grow, day after day, year after year, completely unbothered by the manufactured narratives spewed out by the British media establishment. These aren't idle claims, this is documented business reality. While the tabloids waste column inches on gossip and speculation, actual work gets done. Actual money gets made. The UK press can rage all they want about departures and transitions, but they can't argue with results. Millions pile up regardless of their hysterical headlines because the Sussexes operate in a world where competence and execution matter far more than what some dying newspaper chooses to print. The business operations remain rock solid, untouched, and untroubled by media criticism that has zero impact on the bottom line. This is what thriving actually looks like. Not the performative theatrics of royals clinging to relevance, but real, tangible success built on actual deliverables. The contracts keep coming, the deals keep closing, and the money keeps flowing. No tabloid can write that away. British tabloids, glaring double standards, and selective silence. The British tabloid industry has long mastered the art of convenient amnesia, conveniently ignoring scandals that touch the inner circles of the royal establishment, while simultaneously training their relentless spotlight on those who dare to step outside their control. These so-called news outlets refuse to cover serious allegations against their favoured establishment figures, eye scars, domestic violence accusations against certain royals, and a litany of other troubling behaviour that somehow never makes it to print. Yet they operate with religious fervour when it comes to the Sussexes, who left their payroll and their influence in the dust nearly a decade ago. The hypocrisy is staggering. Tabloids, too cowardly to hold their own patrons accountable, too chicken to challenge the monarchy's preferred narratives, instead chase relevance by obsessing over people who have explicitly rejected their game and now sue them into oblivion when given the opportunity. These media relics protect certain individuals with an almost religious devotion, while targeting others with vicious double standards, all while pretending to operate as legitimate news organisations. The truth is simple. They won't cover what actually matters about the clowns on the UK payroll, because they work for them, dance for them, and depend on them for access. Meanwhile, the people they've turned into their favourite targets continue thriving, signing contracts and building empires, completely indifferent to the selective rage of outlets that have lost all credibility and moral ground. Sussex independence from media control. The Sussexes made their decisive break from tabloid influence nearly a decade ago, and they've never looked back. Unlike those who remain tethered to the British media machine, forever dancing to their tune and beholden to their agendas, Harry and Meghan have built their empire on their own terms, free from the chains of editorial control and the whims of editors who profit from their misery. They don't need the tabloids, don't court them, and frankly, don't give a damn what they print anymore. And when those rags do cross the line with their lies and fabrications, the Sussexes have made it crystal clear. Legal action remains firmly on the table. They've got the resources, the lawyers, and most importantly, the backbone to hold these outlets accountable for their false reporting. The old days of celebrities bowing and scraping before Fleet Street are long dead, and the Sussexes are living proof that you can thrive magnificently without ever needing a tabloid's approval or blessing. Accountability through legal action. The Sussexes have not shied away from holding misleading publications accountable through the courts, proving that they're willing to fight back against the relentless falsehoods spewed by British tabloids, who seem determined to distort their every move. When media outlets spread defamation and libel, the kind of garbage that would make any reasonable person's blood boil, there are actual consequences now, not just empty complaints swept under the rug like the monarchy's real scandals. These legal victories aren't just about winning cases. They're about demonstrating a genuine commitment to truth and justice in an industry that has forgotten what those words even mean. The tabloid rags can keep printing their lies, but now they know the Sussexes have the resources and the resolve to drag them into court and make them answer for every false headline, every twisted narrative, every character assassination designed to keep the public's attention off the actual corruption happening within palace walls. That's real accountability, not the fake kind the old guard pretends to have, but actual legal consequences that hit where it matters. The wallet and the reputation of outlets that have built empires on spreading nonsense. British media's failure to grasp modern workplace evolution. The British tabloids remain trapped in a bygone era, utterly incapable of understanding how contemporary business operates in the real world. These relics of old media continue to churn out misinformation at a breathtaking pace, spinning narratives about quits and departures when what's actually happening is simple, straightforward contract fulfillment. The kind of professional transition that happens millions of times every single day in legitimate industries. Yet here they are, clutching their pearls and fabricating drama where none exists, because comprehending actual business practices would require acknowledging that the world has fundamentally shifted. Industry veterans, the ones with real work experience and credible backgrounds, understand perfectly well how workplace standards have evolved. You work a position, build your credentials, enhance your portfolio, then move to the next opportunity. It's not betrayal, it's career progression. But the tabloid hacks working for Murdoch and the monarchy's cheerleaders, they're too busy protecting their own corrupt interests and too chicken to investigate real scandals to ever grasp that modern professionals don't pledge lifetime servitude for a gold watch anymore. They'd rather obsess over people who left them in the dust than acknowledge the simple truth. The work world moved forward and they got left behind. Sussex thriving, while establishment declines. The truth is plain as day for anyone willing to see it. While the Sussexes continue to build empires, sign contracts, and accumulate success after success, the so-called traditional royals are watching their credibility crumble like old parchment. The modern world has moved on, and audiences are smarter than ever before. They can spot authentic achievement from a mile away, and they sure as hell can tell the difference between real work and manufactured relevance. The Sussexes left the tired old guard in the dust nearly a decade ago, and they haven't looked back, racking up wins in business, entertainment, and culture, while the establishment figures who stayed behind are fading into irrelevance. Meanwhile, the British tabloids, those relics desperately clinging to a dying era, keep their cameras trained on the very people they claim don't matter, proving with every breathless headline that the Sussexes are the ones who actually command attention and respect. The world has evolved, the rules of business have changed, and success now belongs to those who create, innovate, and move forward with purpose and vision. The Sussexes understood this shift long ago, and they're thriving because of it, while those stuck in the old ways of maintaining power through gossip and control are watching their influence evaporate before their eyes. British tabloids must finally evolve or become obsolete. The time has come for tabloids to abandon their tired playbook of sensationalism and gossip, embracing instead the standards of genuine journalism that a savvy public increasingly demands. People are waking up to media manipulation. They see through the clickbait headlines, the deliberate misrepresenting of facts, and the relentless pursuit of drama over truth. The British tabloid establishment in particular needs a serious reckoning. They've built their empires on fabrication and innuendo while ignoring their own royal mess. The eye scars, the domestic violence allegations, the pedophilia scandals lurking in their own backyard. It's time for integrity to replace the gossip columns, for accuracy to supplant the sensational spin. The public's awareness is growing sharper by the day, and readers are gravitating toward outlets that actually report facts rather than fantasy. These aging media institutions, still dancing for oligarchs and monarchy handlers, must understand that the world has moved on. Truth and substance matter now more than ever. Adapt or die. That's the reality facing an industry that refuses to meet contemporary standards. The Sussexes, meanwhile, continue thriving while these tabloid relics implode, a poetic consequence of choosing clicks over credibility.